It's a big day tomorrow. I think none of us have ever done anything like this before. Yeah, Adam would be proud.
No, it's going towards a good cause, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? And it's good, like, character building. Like, it sees where we really are in it. Like, sees how far we can do things in it. And it's good. Like, we're all doing it together. We're all there to motivate each other.
Yeah, everyone's worked so hard as well the last couple of months. So I can't say that properly. We've been fucking looking at me like.
Shit, what you got to do is this. Ish. Ish. Ish.
I don't get what's going on. What's this for?
It's abs.
Right.
It's for carnival.
Okay.
Got you! Come on.
My turn now.
Hands up, guys!
Been around since I was 17. I first got introduced to the club through a good friend of mine called Chance. I asked him about the club, inquired. I noticed that I put on a lot of weight after I finished secondary school, and I wasn't doing anything productive. So I came down to the club. That's where I was first introduced to Adam. Me and Adam took a liking to each other straight away. I used to always call him boss. He used to hate me calling him boss. Like, he said, if I call him boss one more time, he'll kick me out of the gym. And I'll be like, sorry, boss. He used to get so mad.
Oh, right up back!
Being inspired in Adams helps me a lot in many ways. Like growing up, I didn't really have my father in my life, so I never really had a father figure in my life. So when I met Adam, he was a big father figure for me. He invested his time into me. He's introduced me to a lot of people here in the club. Adam's invested his time into me when he didn't have to. Like, he's got his own son, but he still wanted to help me be a better man and be a better person. So I owe a lot to Adam, yeah.
Well, I first started boxing when I was 8, and then I originally got involved with Gloves Not Guns when I was probably about 15. Coach Adam gave me my first job working in the gym, and then from then I started boxing from him, like, continuously, week after week, just fighting. And then I got involved with the coaching side of things as well. When I was younger, I was very naughty in school. I got kicked out. In other words, I was a little shit. I was just always in trouble, being naughty. When I found the boxing gym, they took me in straight away, and it was basically like a little brotherhood in here. Everyone knew each other, and we just got in, worked out, and it was great.
Got you! Come on.
I met Adam just over 10 years ago, and at the time I was living in Thornton Heath, and I was looking for a boxing club to train at, and I came across Adam's profile on Instagram. One of the things that I saw on his Instagram straight away was Gloves Not Guns. And at the time I was working in West London, supporting young people, like doing youth work. And yeah, just had a real interest in what Adam was doing with Gloves Not Guns. So I sent him a message, or DM'd him, and he got back to me, and like the next week I came down to the club. And yeah, just straight away, like, you know, just anyone that knew Adam just knew he's just a huge character. And at the time, he was just running these free sessions. And I just sort of said to him, look, like, I've got this background in youth work, why don't we develop it together? And we were both like new dads. You know, Adam had just had his little boy Bo, I just had Lola. And I think we just had this this interest in and this passion to like help the community we lived in, because, you know, we were going to have children growing up in that community.
Spending time with Adam, in my 23 years of being here, is my best time. Like, my best memories was with him, and like we've done so much things together, laughed, argued, like I said. Like there's no word that can really describe Adam.
Adam and I just both had this like vision of like, we can make this huge and we can make it more sustainable. And someone that's helped me and Adam over the years called Dan de la Cruz, you know, basically supported me and Adam to come up with this new organisation and rebrand, which was Be Inspired. And it was quite funny at the time. The branding organisation, they were putting forward all these names to me and Adam of what Be Inspired could be called. And in the end, we just came up with the name because it was Ballard and Eckett. And yeah, and we thought it was quite nice because
he was a great dad. Bo will tell you that he was his best friend, even though he was dad. But he was your best friend, wasn't he? And he was there. On the day when Adam passed away, we received a gift in the post, which was from Adam. And he had given it to Bo, or bought it for Bo, literally on the floor when he was going with 0.6 oxygen in him. He had bought a gift for Bo. It's almost like, I'm going, but here you go, Bo. But that was special when we heard that ring at the door and we saw the gift in the post. And when people are telling me, oh, Adam's done this, Adam's done that, I just can't. I mean, I saw it when everyone turned up and everyone was messaging me about the funeral. I couldn't believe, he always says, you know, I'm a big man. And I'm like, yeah, I can tell. But I didn't know how much he meant, like, I'm a big man, I'm respected. And I saw that when he died, that Adam was respected, he was loved. And although we didn't show it as much, he was our everything. He was just, we took it for granted, I'd say, but he just meant the world to us.
And Adam was the type of person that he would get up at 3 in the morning and leave his family to go and help a young person to move them to the other side of London. And I don't know any people that are directors or CEOs or run organisations that do that sort of work. And I think when Adam passed and we had the Saturday where everyone came to the club and you had all the people at the ring talking about the way Adam changed their lives, that was all real. Like, he just impacted on so many people's lives, and he never did it for a pat on the back. He never, you know, he never shared it on his social medias. Adam hated that shit. Adam would hate this right now. Adam didn't want to get attention. He did this all for just pure love, for wanting to help the community and wanting to help young people.
He's just such a selfless man. I feel like he finds pleasure within himself knowing that he's helped other people. So him, like me being a testimony to that, Eddie, seeing us grow up to the men we are today, like, I know he would have been very proud.
I think one of the stories I've not stopped thinking about since he died was about Bo's school, his son's school, and it was Easter. And basically after Adam died, one of the teachers at the school told Adam's wife Sade about this, and no one ever knew about it, because this just shows what the type of person Adam is. But during Easter, because he didn't want anybody at the school not to have an Easter egg, he bought the whole school Easter eggs and dropped them off. You know, went to Costco or whatever, dropped them off. And then just before Easter, obviously all these eggs were given out. But he never told anyone about that. And the more you hear stories from people, the more you hear about how Adam just did these things for people to change people's lives. Like there's people where he's helped them set up their businesses. He's done things where he's driven across like London to go and pick someone up to help them, or taken his boxers to boxing matches all over the place. Just the conversations that he had with people. He just had time for everybody, and he was so passionate about about young people getting the opportunity that they deserve and breaking down barriers to why they can't do things. And I think those values that Adam had just run through a whole organisation. And when you talk about legacy, I think a lot of people these days will say, you know, someone left a legacy, this, that and the other, and I don't doubt that, but I don't think I've ever in my life seen such a strong legacy that someone's left behind.
We're doing a quadrathlon, I think that's how you say it. The training's been mental, to be fair. Even today I went training this morning, absolutely crazy in the seat, but the only reason I'm doing it is for my coach Adam. Otherwise I wouldn't have done this ever.
The training over the past couple months has been a really great distraction for all of us. We've been able to keep focused on something, and I think having that goal at the end of this is going towards Adam's legacy and funding some of the things that he was really passionate about.
We're carrying on not because we must or whatever, it's just because we just have to, you know, push through. I don't know what I'll do without all the support of the guys from Be Inspired, but all I can say is that Adam's legacy will still carry on.
If you do one favor, just stay with me. I don't usually need nobody.
Yeah, training's been good. I think it's given me a lot of focus over the past 3 or 4 months. I think the toughest thing about this training is just ensuring that each week we're spending enough time doing each component of what we're going to be doing when we're up in Scotland. And I think one thing that's been good about the training for this is that those days where you just really don't want to get up and swim, you don't want to run, and you just keep pushing yourself to do it. And I think that part of it has just helped build that mental strength more than anything.
Obviously I swam today. Swimming today definitely showed me that I need to do a lot more.
Yeah, he did so well. First time in open water.
Yeah. The other 2 boys smashed it, to be fair. Ben and Jay smashed it. They're like little fishes.
I'm not looking forward to this. There's no wrong or right way about doing it in the sense of everyone's got their own technique. Yeah. Me personally, I'll get in, get on the ledge, step down and just dump, get out of the way with.
Swimming off already, boys.
It's a very humbling experience.
It's just the thought of it.
You're cold just looking at him, isn't it? There we go.
Well
Good
done,
man. So
yeah,
relax
nice.
into it, okay? So the breathing. So we don't fight it. Focus on that 4 or 5 seconds. Slow inhalation. Right, try and do 2 minutes, mate. You've got about 5 seconds.
So with the ice bath, I definitely didn't enjoy it. I don't particularly like the cold. I prefer the warm. But again, it was similar to what I was saying about the training. It was good because you had to push yourself to do something that you didn't want to do. And once you sort of got used to it, you sort of settled into it, it was fine. There's obviously lots of benefits to it. So yeah, I think I'll definitely be doing more of them.
Perfect venue for it.
This is fucking awful. I'm not gonna lie.
Don't tell yourself that. Think about the benefits.
I'm gonna do it, but it's
brutal.
I just prefer the heat.
215 the most.
So I've beaten these 2.
Oh, if you want to look at it as a competition, yes. And oh yeah, the head's in as well. I love it. Good man. All right. Well,
Yeah, so training's been pretty good. It's I feel like I'm ready. I was a bit worried at first about the bike, but I've done some bike rides and now I'm ready. And the most challenging thing is getting it all in. Like, it's hard training for 4 things. Most people just train for 1 thing at a time. So trying to do 4 things for 1 event, that's been hard.
Keep going, guys. Less than 2 weeks now. Eddie, what do you think is going to be the hardest bit about it?
Swimming. Without a doubt.
Yeah, I think before I feel nerves and excitement, and then after it'll be relief and hopefully proud of us all getting the job done.
Come on, Hannes, answer. Hey, Hannes.
Wait, mate, this is what hard work looks like.
Come on, Hannes.
Jake.
Put in the work and he's laying in bed.
What's up, mate? What's up? Yeah, right. How you feeling? Mate, I can see you smiling. your cheeks are raising. All right, mate, you've got a lot of catching up to do this week.
The best bit I enjoy is just getting up early in the morning, smashing out the work, because then after I can just like, I know I've done something. No one really enjoys working out. No one does, but you just got to get it done. If you just put your mind to it and just smash it out, you just feel a lot better after. Once you get it done, I feel like on the mental side of things as well, it's just all mental. Like, I hate it, but I love it at the same time, because I know at the end of the day, no one else is doing what we're doing. No one else is signing up for this event. Like, yeah, it's got to smash it out, but I love it. It's going to be great.
This is definitely going to be the most physically challenging thing any of us have ever done before. A few years ago, myself and Eddie did a 100-mile walk, which was over 4 days, which was extremely tough, and it was again to raise money for Gloves Not Guns. But none of us have done anything like this. I think for me, what I'm looking forward to the most is really challenging myself physically and mentally, being in an environment that I've never been in before, and doing it with a team that I really like.
One, two.
Do you know what comes after that?
No, just...
Because I know physically I'm capable of doing the event, but mentally it's just, I've never really pushed myself to that level before. So I'm just thinking, like, how am I going to cope with it, really and truly?
When we first got there, yeah, I was scared. I was looking at it and I thought, I don't know how I'm going to do this.
Yeah, so we're driving up to the mountains and the weather wasn't too good. And I just remember coming round the bend from like the main road up to the point where the mountains were, and just seeing the mountains and the size of them, I straight away felt like we have not trained hard enough for this.
Yeah, so on the first day, I mean, when we arrived at like, you know, the start and like where everyone was gathered and all the rest of it, yeah, I mean, I wasn't ready. I realised at that point I wasn't ready for what was ahead.
Hello guys, it's your boy Hannes Sulaiman, specialist in nature, water and weather. This mountain here is called the Mount Forest. There's even a lake at the top, do you know what I mean?
He says the waves in the actual loch are going to be too big that we probably won't be able to swim. And up the mountains, we're probably not going to be able to go right up to the tops because it's going to be 30 to 40 mile an hour gale force winds.
Oh, so we just be blown off here?
So yeah, they're looking at alternatives of what we'll obviously still be doing something like same distances and everything, but they might just have to scale back how high we go and stuff like that. The whole time they were just talking about the dangers that we could die if we don't do this, the weather, how it might be cancelled. And yeah, I think it just, for all of us, it just sort of set in then how serious this was, what we were doing, the distances we were doing, the weather. It was, yeah, it was quite scary at that point. And actually I was pretty nervous.
As we went down to the lake, I mean, you could tell, like, I do a lot of swimming and I could tell that it was going to be like right on the limits if it was safe to swim. There was like a real strong crosswind coming across the lake and there was white horses everywhere. And there was a lot of talk from the people and like both the safety guys, but also the people also doing the event about things being cancelled. Yeah, it was, we knew the weather wasn't going to be nice. It wasn't going to make it any easier.
The record is 6.5 hours, can you believe it? I don't know what they were eating. 2 doctors from Blairgowrie, the gatherer, Dr. Gatherer. He's not back, is he? No. And Mark Beaumont, who did it, he did 7 hours, 5 minutes. But the winner last year did it in 9 hours, so it depends.
Ben spoke to a safety marshal here. He said basically we won't be able to go all the way up to the mountains. Depends on how it is tomorrow because it's too windy, everything's a bit dangerous. I'm hearing everything and I'm shitting myself right now.
Need to smash it. When I feel down, I've got these boys to keep me there and keep encouraging.
Anything that you have on the way.
We left the health and safety briefing and I just remember vividly 2 of the guys talking about how they don't like wet grass. And at that point I started to really worry for the rest of the event.
I was just thinking, oh, it's just going to be a bit long, like loads of muddy roads and wet grass, and I was thinking,
Tomorrow, it's not about the body, it's about the mind. And I can do it.
Tell my mum I love her. Tell my mum I love her. And my wife, it was her fault.
I mean, the weather was still pretty bad, but it was good enough to swim. But you see, which we didn't see the day before, you could actually see a lot more of the Munros or the mountains that we had to climb up. And then we realised, like, shit, this is going to be a hard day.
Once we started the event, you know, got our wetsuits on and stuff like that, we all started to get ourselves up for it. We realised, you know, there's no turning back now, we've just got to get this done. And also, because there was like, I don't know how many people, there must have been 100 people doing it. You were getting all the energy off everyone else, everyone was up for it, and I think, yeah, I was feeling much more positive. And definitely, as soon as I got in the water and started to swim, I was sort of focused then on let's get through this day.
It was a weird one because swimming in a loch, which I'd never done, you don't see a lot in the water when you're swimming anyway, but especially in a loch, it's just pitch black, and you couldn't really see the finish. You could just see this like white tent that they told us to swim towards.
I got to the other side and I came out and my brother was already out, and there was only 3 other people out, and so I was like probably like fourth out of around 100 people. So yeah, I was really pleased at that point, and again that just sort of amped me up a little bit more to crack on with the rest. So we've done the swim. Starting on the mountains now.
Let's go.
Jakey.
Let's go.
You're tired. Hancock powers.
And then we set off really not ready. Like, we were like buzzing, everyone was like singing and like having a good time and a laugh.
Be careful, there's bears here. They're not really active during the day, but we've got to still be vigilant. The mama bears are the scary ones, they're the dangerous ones. They'll protect their young, you know what I mean?
But yeah, that soon changed when we got into it and realised, yeah, we've got a bit of a battle ahead of ourselves now.
Overall, I wouldn't recommend it.
We're all shitting ourselves, to be fair. Probably the scariest thing I've ever done. How you feeling, Ed?
This cramp I had, it was like no other pain I felt. And then you can't stop. Once you're on the mountain, you cannot stop. So if I'd stopped, I would have just been freezing on top of a mountain, not moving. So I had to keep moving, and it was like the most mental, it was mental, the mental side of it was draining. Trying to physically move, that was draining. And then trying to push yourself through it when it's cold, wet, raining, it's just the worst thing ever.
I just remembered to myself not looking back, but me being me, I looked back and I just thought, nah, this is high. Like, I started panicking a lot. And then when we got to the top of the mountain, I said to myself, no, I've got to complete this. Like, I know I'm scared of heights, but I've got to make sure I get this over and done with. So what I started doing, I started crawling on my back like this down the mountain.
Made it to the 10th highest mountain in the UK. What's it called? Ben Lawyers. Ben Lawyers. There you go. Jake, how you doing? Good. Ed. Where's Hannes? There he is.
So the mountain was called Ben Low, but it's like the 10th biggest mountain in the UK. We was climbing on the side of it, and the way you had to get along it, it was like, if you slip, you're gonna die.
I just remember like thinking about my kids and my family, thinking like, if I fall, I'm done.
There's a tiny little goat path that you have to walk along. It's like blowing real strong wind, like straight across us. It isn't stable, like it isn't safe. It's not a case of like you miss your footing and you'll just slip down a little. Like, it's a sheer drop at one point, just I don't know what was down there, but it was just right to the bottom.
It was just grass and mud, so we just had to hold on to the grass and mud. And I swear down, I've never held onto anything as tight as that mountain, as that grass in my life. It was really such a big challenge, and it was definitely very, very scary. Definitely one of my scariest things I've ever been through in my life.
What an experience. Fucking scary. And but a real challenge, and How are you feeling, Eddie, now that we've done it?
Yeah, I feel good. Hopefully I get onto the kayak bit, but
the best part for me was when coming off the mountains and then we had like a little break. There was like, we got like soup, bread, yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, I think that was the best part when they gave us food. We had to relax for a bit, but overall, there weren't really a best part about it because everything was just like chaos.
Brother, in life there's certain things you should do and you shouldn't do. This you should do, but then you have to be pretty crazy to do this. Like there's people that enjoy this.
Every year.
Like I enjoy it, but it's not the enjoyment that I see on other people's faces. We climbed a lot of hills, and I'll say that the last 2 hills before that, they kept waiting for me, and I just felt like I didn't want to be a burden to them, innit? Because they got some good fast. Oh my God, what is that?
So we got off the mountains. We got down to the lake where we were getting in for the kayak, and because of the time that we took, we didn't have any time to eat. So bear in mind we've swam a mile, we've just done 17 miles of hiking because it wasn't 15 in the end, it was 17. And there was mac and cheese and loads of food on the side, and we had to leave it because we were running behind and needed to get in the kayaks to make sure that we didn't miss the cut-off.
So we were just sat in the kayak waiting for this guy to tell us we can start, and we're getting cold at this point, so it was just a bit frustrating to start. And then when you get in the kayak and like you're like 6 inches off the water and there's waves crashing into the kayak, and you know it was definitely the thing that we had least practiced.
Almost done. Couple miles of kayaking left. How you doing, Jake? And then we got the 35 mile bike ride.
So it was in pairs, so it was me and Eddie together, and at first what the most important thing about kayaking, it really showed you why teamwork is so important. Like at first I was just thinking, I'm just gonna muscle through it and use my strength, but it's not about that. It's about working together with your team and building a steady rhythm. So once we understood that, we started flowing.
So now your legs are really sore, they're starting to cramp as you're sitting down, and now you're trying to kayak, and then because you're getting hit by waves, the waves are coming in, you're getting even more soaking wet and cold, and then your arms begin to stiff, and then unfortunately my partner didn't know how to kayak properly, so and we end up basically having an argument.
We were freezing cold and wet, and to be honest, just a bit fed up at this point and just wanted to get it over and done with.
Coming off the kayaks, we went straight into the cycle. We were able to have a quick break, so we sat down and had some curry and mac and cheese, and yeah, pretty good to get some warm food in. At that point, my Achilles was properly done. But anyway, we got on the cycle, 35 miles, really tough, lots of hills. I think that was probably the toughest part of the day. Bear in mind, at that point, we'd been exercising since 5 o'clock in the morning. 3 hours left. Started at 6 o'clock this morning. This has literally been the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
So like straight away, you're into the hills. Like it's not a gradual downhill slope and then you've got a few hills to battle. We come out of the campsite place and it's straight up a hill.
For me, it was hard because it was obviously we just finished climbing 7 mountains, so it was physically demanding on us. 15 miles into the bike ride, 20 left. I'm absolutely done. This is without a doubt the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I've done a marathon before, I've done a 100-mile hike, jiu-jitsu tournaments, football, everything, and yeah, this is just like double anything I've ever done.
I don't think anyone prepared for this as we should have. Obviously, Hannes, you saw his training footage, so, but I was doing 10K runs, thinking, we're just gonna run up a few mountains, it'll be all right, it's fine. Absolutely not. I definitely thought it was as hard as it was,
but I underestimated the mental side of it, if I'm being honest. Like, I knew it was going to be mentally a struggle, but I didn't really know it was going to be like to the max.
Everybody was super keen. Like, there was no one trying to make excuses like they've got a bad leg or whatever. Everyone was up for it, and that's part of it, right? It's the adrenaline that takes over. You think you've just got to push yourself.
I think just the relief of getting it done was the first thing that I felt. I think then, just having a big hug with my brother and Hannes and Eddie, definitely felt a bit emotional. I couldn't call my wife at the time just because I knew that if I called her I'd probably be crying. But no, it was great. It was, if I'm honest, I just felt exhausted at that point.
No, I felt good, man. It felt really good, like, achieving this event, man, because obviously, like, it wasn't easy, but for me, it just showed that whatever I want to do, I can really accomplish it, because I've done something that's mentally and physically challenging.
What we did it for as well, for my coach Adam, if he was here today, he would be very proud of me, proud of all of us, because even he would say himself it was probably the biggest achievement we've all done in our lives.
Yeah, it was just the hardest thing we've ever done, and obviously we've done it in memory of Adam. I think he'd be proud of all of us, proud of the boys. Yeah, I need to go and fucking sleep.